What was it about this story that compelled you to become, director?
I didn't start out with the intent of directing it. I started out with the same intent I've always had when I begin a screenplay. What happened, I'll try to do the condensed version, was that, excuse me, I'm sorry, a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer I know a little bit socially, sent me the book the week that it came out and asked if I would read the book and meet with his client, Molly Bloom. And I said, sure, and I was doing this as a favor. And I read the book, and sure enough, it's a wild ride, though it's really just a small fraction of what you saw in the movie that's in the book for a number of reasons, one of which is that, as we say in the movie, she hadn't been arrested yet when she finished the book. Charlie, Idris Elba's character, says, you did, you finished the book before the good part happened. But at any rate, I read the book. It was wonderful. I went and met with Molly Bloom. I did not have high expectations. I assumed that I was going to be meeting someone who was kind of cashing in on her brush with celebrity, and that wasn't really something that I was interested in. And within the first 5 minutes of the meeting, I was completely turned around, realized that Molly Bloom, just like Charlie has this revelation, is not who I thought she was. She struck me immediately as brilliant and strong, with a wry sense of humor, but mostly this very unusual, quiet integrity, sense of right and wrong, and character. And that, for me, is like ringing the dinner bell. I like to write romantically and idealistically, and that first meeting just lasted an hour. And I didn't know very much then, but I knew enough. I knew enough about the contradictions between the book and what happened in real life to know. I just left that meeting feeling the way, if you're lucky enough to have felt this, you might at the end of a first date where you just knew this is the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. It wasn't that this was the person I was going to be with. This was the movie I was going to write right now. I was supposed to write a different movie. I was going to put this aside, but I had to learn more. There was something there. It wasn't the underground celebrity poker games. It wasn't any of that. There was something about this person that made her a unique movie heroine. It wasn't until, now that meeting with Molly would be followed by hundreds of others. But when I turned in the script, I sat down with the producers at a restaurant. We had a list in front of us, about 20 directors or so. We went through each one, pros and cons. When we got to the end of the list, the producers said, but we think you should direct it. And I kind of all shucksed it. I thought maybe they were just being nice. They got caught up in a moment or something. But they kept asking, and then they gave me about 3 weeks to give them an answer. We were all about to go away for the Christmas break, and when we came back on January 3rd, I was to say yes or no. And during that time, I talked to directors that I trust, writers who've become writer-directors who I trust. They were all very supportive. But now I get to answer your question. The reason why I directed it, why I chose to do that, was that I knew that with this story, which you can tell a lot of different ways, there are a number of available versions of this story, that there was going to be a gravitational pull toward the shiny objects in the story, the decadence and the glamour and the gambling and the Hollywood and the sexiness and all the money, and that thing that I was feeling at that very first meeting, which I never stopped feeling, that feeling only grew, was going to get drowned out somehow, or put aside completely in favor of a more Wolf of Wall Street approach to the piece. And I made the decision that I would rather have the movie be bad as a result of me being incompetent than have it not be what I wasn't seeing it yet, I was feeling it in that very first moment. I just wanted to land that. It's hard. It's like if you fill your hands with water and you try to transport it from here to there, by the time you get to there, there's not going to be any water in your hands. And that's what you're trying to do when you have this thing in your head and you need to transfer it successfully to paper and then successfully to the screen. How's that for a short answer?